welcome back to the channel. My name is Lauren. We're in a different room. We're in a different room filming right now because my kitty is sick, and if you watched the last video, you probably heard him quite a bit, mad as heck. So I am filming in my husband's office right now, and I don't think this will be a very permanent thing. I hate the lighting in here, but we're gonna work with what we have. We're giving Kitty a break to relax and rest, and give me a break from him too, because he's a lot of work right now. But I had to film this. I was so excited because this came so fast. We're talking about the new holiday release from Charlotte Tilbury. The first thing I picked up was the Beautyverse Palette, which is her new eyeshadow palette that she came out with. And then I also picked up the Blush and Glow Glide Palette, the Hollywood Blush and Glow Glide Palette, sorry. And I thought we would just try them on together because they look pretty. I haven't even opened them, they look pretty online, but let's take a look at what they look like and decide, are they worth the price tag? Because let me tell you, the price tag for these are a little ridiculous. So let's just say the internet was a little bit divided on if they liked the look of the new palette. This is the Beautyverse palette. I really like it. I think it's beautiful. I don't remember if she's done a 9-pan like this before. I don't think she has. But this is what the inside looks like. We've got an insert with all the shade names on it, but this is what it looks like. So it doesn't look too unique. I'm just gonna start off by saying that, but it does look really pretty. And I do really like her eyeshadow formula. I have some questions though about the price. Okay, this is $75. 9 pans, $75. If you're thinking, oh, that's a lot of money, you'd be correct. Now, if you have any of her long palettes, which I have, I really enjoy the formula in those. Those are 12-pan palettes. They're also $75. Now, you're probably getting a little less product per pan, but still, this is 9 pans for $75. It seems like a lot. It seems like a lot, but we're gonna try it out. We're gonna do a look. And maybe it's gonna be my new go-to favorite because there's been a couple palettes that I'm like, it's not that unique. And then I keep reaching for them. Natasha Denona new one. That's one of them. I'm like, well, all the looks look the same, but I really like how they look. Okay, this is, oh. Okay, this is the, oh no. Okay, so the highlighter in the Blush and Glow palette has popped up, so I'm not able to really show it to you without making it fall on the ground. We're still gonna use it, we're still gonna try it out. I'm probably gonna contact customer service though to see if we can get a new one because that's broken. It's just gonna fall out. So, okay, that's okay. I've gotten a lot of broken stuff in the mail lately, and it makes me just wanna buy in stores, but some stuff you can't. And then I'm not very patient, but we're still gonna do a look with this one. We're gonna do a look with the palette. The Blush and Glow mini face palette is $29, which I find to be a lot more reasonable than the $75 eyeshadow palette. But let's just put it on our eyes and see what it looks like. I debated whether or not I wanted to do swatches with the new palette, and I think I just, look, at the end of the day, there are good mattes and there are bad mattes, I will say, but sometimes a matte is a matte. I don't know, I'm all about the shimmers, I'm not gonna lie. So really quickly, I'm just gonna swatch these shimmers. There's 5 of them, so I'm just gonna do it on the back of my hand. And we're just gonna go in order. And again, the names of them are on the little insert, but I'm just gonna show you like kind of which ones I'm gonna be using on my eyes. Okay, so just swatching them, this is the first 2. So we've got the blue one, just like kind of a blue silver. And then the one directly next to that is very, very sheer. This is a topper for sure. I don't even know if you're gonna see that in the camera, to be honest, because it's so sheer. The next one is also decently sheer, not as sheer as that one. It's got some color, looks like that. Purple one, I mean, these are all just very light. So the purple one is, ooh, I kind of wish that one had a little more color in it. Okay, and then the last one, swatching this with my thumb, so give me a sec. the last one looks like that. So my fingers are very pretty, I will say. But that is what the swatches look like of the shimmers. Again, we're just gonna pass on the mattes for right now, but I will use them on my face. So first, of course, I need to prime my eyes. So I'm gonna use my MAC Paint Pot in Bare Study. And I think we're just gonna do one look today. Something easy. I need kind of an easy day today. And let's see if you can use this palette in an easy and simple way. Because sometimes that's what I want. And that's kind of what I was hoping to get from this palette. Something just easy to use. So first, we gotta try out these mattes. I'm gonna start up here. I'm gonna go ahead and put that one on my upper eye. Now, my whole situation is all over the place right now because we are in a different room. So I look like I'm turning to the side. That's where my table is right now. You know, I used to think that this room, which again is my husband's office, would be good for filming in because it's got some good natural light. But whew, for some reason, maybe it's because it's overcast today though. It is a weird day today. It's overcast, but it's kind of warm. It's in like low 70s, which is perfect fall weather if I do say so. But then next week it's supposed to be in the 90s. Welcome to California, where the weather is all over the place. So I know I was just a little bit snarky about mattes, but I will say I've always really enjoyed Charlotte Tilbury's matte formula. It just goes on really smoothly. It's easy to use. I like that. Okay, I am gonna go into this darker brown and I'm gonna put it in the outer ends of my eyes. Again, we're just kind of doing something that I would do on an everyday basis. So another matte that went on really, really well. Very, very pretty. Great neutral colors that I would wear on a daily basis. Again, we're kind of deciding, is this a good everyday palette? Let's see. But we gotta try these shimmers, okay? Because first of all, I don't see them picking up on a brush super well. We are going to try. Okay, so we are gonna go into, I think let's go into this pink color here in the corner. And let's see if it'll pick up on the brush or if we need to use our finger. A lot of the times for shimmers, finger just works better. It's actually going on with the brush okay. But I bet it's gonna look better if I use my finger. Okay, looks about the same actually. I might have spoken too soon. Oh no. Okay, yeah, we're getting a little bit of a better color payout there. The shimmers are just very sheer, so just be warned. If you are curious about that, if you're looking for something more sheer, these would be a good choice. If you're looking for something more pigmented, this would not be the best option to go to. I mean, the mattes are pretty good. They're well pigmented, but again, you're only dealing with 4 mattes and not a wide variety of color there. Okay, let's go into the purple. Let's just stick it right next to the pink. And hopefully you're seeing a difference in those colors. I'm just putting that one in the inner corner of my eye. They look very similar, I'm not gonna lie, they do. Oh, hi kitty. Okay, I'm gonna go in with on the other eye. I did have someone on one of my videos say, why would you use your finger? Like, that's a terrible way to apply eyeshadow. Look, whatever works for you. For me, certain shimmers just apply better with the finger. Okay, for the heck of it, let's go into this kind of topper color. Let's just put that on the outer ends. Let's see, what finger haven't I used? So we're kind of just laying it on top of that matte. It's definitely a much more drier formula than the rest of the shimmers. It like feels a lot more dry. Oh, okay. There is an issue when you use your finger. Don't touch the rest of your face because you will you will get eyeshadow everywhere. Well, at least it's pretty. Let's go into this brown here. I'm gonna put it underneath my waterline. And I am gonna go back into this purple color, and I'm just gonna do a little bit underneath my waterline as well. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put on eyeliner and mascara to finish up this look, and then we're gonna use the face palette, hopefully not break it any further, and talk about my final thoughts. Okay, eyeliner, mascara is on. Now we are going to attempt to use this without breaking it more. Oh, it's definitely gonna fall out of the pan. Okay, well, let's go into the blush first. And I went back and forth as to whether or not I was gonna buy this face palette. I wanted to try it, but I knew I didn't necessarily need it, but I liked the way this pink looked. That is a really pretty pink. It's very light. It's like a touch corally, I would say. A little bit of orange. Just the lightest amount. That is the kind of blush that I know that I really like. Something like not too out there, but definitely lends a lot of color to your face. So I do like that color quite a bit. Okay, now we're gonna go in. We're gonna go in with this broken highlighter and see what it looks like. It's very finely milled, which I like in a highlighter, so no chunks of glitter. Oh, that's really pretty actually. I always do my nose. I know it's like not really a current trend, it's an old trend, but whatever. I like a good highlighted nose. Okay, I really like that. It's definitely a champagne-y highlighter, but I think that's really pretty. And I went in with a pretty heavy hand, so you can go in lighter if you want something a little less stunning, but I do like that glow. I like that amount of glow too. I think that's very pretty. Okay, so here we are with the finished look. What do we think? Do we think the price tag fits the product? Well, okay, so let's talk about this palette. First of all, I love this packaging. I know some people said it looks cheap. I just think it's really pretty. So I'm a fan. And I've always liked, actually no, when I first tried her eyeshadow formula, I didn't get it. I didn't like it. It took me a couple tries to appreciate it. It's not incredibly, I don't want to say impactful. It's not super pigmented. You know, it's not going to blow your socks off with color, but it performs beautifully. It goes on smoothly. There's never any issues with patchiness, with it not blending out well. It's just an easy to use eyeshadow formula, which I really appreciate, you know, I really, really do. Sometimes I'm looking for something a little bit easier. Now, previously I've always liked her shimmers as well. And she's done some great shimmers in the past that I find to be pretty pigmented, gives great color, looks really beautiful in the eyes. These ones are a little bit different. I would say this is just a very, very sheer formula. It's not very impactful, but it is very shimmery. It's very sparkly. So if that's what you're looking for, then this would be good. Something more sheer, sparkly, but you're not getting a lot of color. So regardless of which one you choose, with the exception being this pink one, I thought it had the most pigment in it, but everything else is just, it's almost a little bit too similar for me. There's really so many different looks that I feel like I can do with this palette. Now, I just got that giant new Beauty Bay palette, what is it called? Rich, which I love. And it's just all these neutrals, and it's all these different colored neutrals. A lot of different depths in that palette. It's beautiful. And I think I could see myself bringing that one in quite a bit with this, because these are gonna work well as toppers, but because they're so lightly pigmented, they're not exactly what I look for as a standalone shimmer eyeshadow. Again, great topper, maybe not standalone, but again, it really depends on what you're looking for. If you want something more sheer that gives you the lightest touch of color, but lots of shimmer, then these would be great for you. Not 100% what I normally look for, but kind of reminds me of Lisa Eldridge's eyeshadow palettes, which even the ones that have color in them come off very sheer. So sheer formulas, are those in? Is that what's coming in now? Okay, I need to get on trend. On the whole, I would say this eyeshadow is very pretty. It performs great. There is some fallout, so I would just be cautious about that. I would almost suggest using glitter glue for some of these, especially the silver one up here, because it's a much grittier texture, which means it's not going to stick to your eyes as easily unless you're using some sort of glitter glue. So that one I definitely suggest using a glitter glue for the most impact. And again, be careful of the fallout. Not in the mattes, just in the shimmers. But it's a beautiful palette. It's probably not one that I'm going to reach for too often by itself, but I can see myself bringing it in with other more pigmented palettes, so I could use these as toppers. So interesting, Charlotte. Now for the cheek palette, which again, I'm not gonna open because it's gonna fall out all over the place. For $29, I totally think that this is worth the price, because what, that's like $15 for the blush, $15 for the highlighter. I really like the highlighter. Though there's nothing special about it. It is your very average champagne colored highlighter, but it's so finely milled. It's really, really pretty. You probably already have this in your collection if you have a larger collection, but if you don't and you're looking for something that could be, you know, you could make it a little more natural if you wanted to, if you went with a light hand, but it's still very vibrant and pretty. If you wanted to layer it, then this would be a great champagne color to add to your collection. The blush I really like. Again, I have so much makeup, it's hard for me to be like, oh, this is unique, you know? But this is definitely a color that's very pretty that I will find myself using quite a bit, because it is a more neutral leaning pink, which is what I wear more on my day-to-day work outfits. With a little bit of coral in there. I do find it to be a little bit corally. It's beautiful, I really like it. And again, it's something that I would wear to work on a daily basis. So I am a fan of this cheek palette. I think these colors are beautiful. Now, there were different versions of this. I have the Fair to Light. I destroyed this packaging. I could not get it out. Fair Medium. So I think there's a medium dark palette as well, but mine was in the Fair Medium one. There's only one color so far for this palette, but there have been sneak peeks of another very similar looking palette with a different cover that she hasn't released yet. I don't know if she will. I don't know if that was just something that someone was imagining, but it is floating out there. So I'm curious to see if she releases anything else for the holidays. But those are the two newest releases from Charlotte Tilbury. Again, that's the Beautyverse palette and then the Hollywood Blush and Glow face palette. So what do we think? Do we think it's worth the price? Did you pick it up? Let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you all in my next video.